What's up, y'all? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. I'm having a ball this week. I'm actually off from work, and I'm staying close to home because I'm nursing this bad knee. Since I, excuse me, since I fell a few months ago on the ice. When I first started making these Star Wars videos, I remember telling you guys about that. I had to go to physical therapy and everything. So, it's still giving me problems and everything. So, it was a good time for me to have off from work. So, I'm trying to take it easy. But I figured while I can upload, some more videos, more than I normally do. Of course, I'll be going back to work on Monday. So, I'll be back to doing whatever I can, whenever I can. But I want to take this opportunity to kind of build a little bit upon what's been going on with this Kelly Marie Tran story. I think it's a big old distraction, but just because it seems like whenever I go to check, the Star Wars stories and things like that, I'm seeing more and more stories in relation to this story. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of them have very blatantly been going after so-called toxic white male fans. And I think this is very, very unfortunate. I just have to be honest about this. When something is wrong, you have to call it out. Clearly I am not a white male, but the funny thing about it from my point of view is that last year, back when nobody was watching any of my videos, because I called myself talking directly to the black community, so of course that meant that nobody was watching those videos. The funny thing is that some guy showed up yesterday calling me all types of coon and the white man's tool. Bro, where were you when I was making videos that were geared towards you? Towards your health, towards your mental health. I was doing all these videos back in the day. Only a handful, not even a handful of people showed up. The problem is that people like you only show up when it's time to be offended. And that's where the frustration comes from. I have no respect for people like that. You show up when you want to call me names, when you want to judge me and everything, but when I'm making videos, and I left them up too, they might not be the most engaging videos, some of them are downright boring, but I did leave them up just so people like you can see that I was talking to you, directly to you in a loving manner. And you come in here when you find something to be offended about and call me all types of names, but that's okay. You do what you have to do. I'll just block you. I really have no time for it. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the community that I have stumbled upon since I've been doing these videos in relation to Star Wars and the different issues that are surrounding this whole thing. And I just want to take the time because I know that because of the way these articles are crafted, a lot of people are getting upset with Star Wars fans, and they're coming into YouTube videos like this, into the comment section, and they're saying the most unfair, most misinformed things ever. And I want to make a video directly speaking to those people who will find their way into the comment section. And I just want to say that what you're doing is you're playing directly into the hands of the people who are releasing these unfair articles. I can tell you with all sincerity that since I've been doing these videos, I have never, ever communicated with more genuine, more sincere, more caring people and conscientious people in my life. I've been reading comments that have literally made me cry. Okay, now I know I'm getting soft in my old age, but it's just the truth. I've read comments that have actually broken me down, with some of the people's experiences. I think last week I talked about a veteran, who was 100% disabled, who was actually showing me support. Imagine that, and that's one of the ones, by the way, that got me emotional, I've spoken about my son. I've shared my personal experiences. They've shared their personal experiences. These are the cream of the crop, top-notch people, so you'll excuse me if I don't get a little, if I get a little defensive, when you come in here pointing fingers and talking about toxic people and, and fans who are bullying and stuff like that. You will not find that here. You won't find that on any of the other channels that you see, most of them anyway. Of course there are going to be people out there who are racist. What the fuck, what would I look like saying that that's not the case? with my life experience, you know. But I've had the best life experience when it comes to humanity, you know, when it comes to seeing the best that humanity has to offer and the worst. And I choose to identify with the best, you know. So I just wanted to address that because it's very, very unfair. And I feel like the best thing that we can do in this community of YouTubers and Star Wars fans is to remind people that you're dealing with human beings. You know, you're dealing with people who didn't like a movie. You know, so yes, a lot of us can be loud about it. You know, a lot of us can be, you know, some of us can be belligerent at times. You know, a lot of us like to have fun with it, you know, and say things that, you know, don't necessarily mean anything. It's called venting. You know, that's what a lot of it is. It's venting. You know, it's commiserating. You know, these days people are not hearing, you know, what a lot of the fans are saying. That's what led to all of this. You know, when people started calling the fans racist, when they started calling them threatened by women, you know, they started calling us, you know, just everything in the book, just because people started saying they didn't like this movie and they didn't like the direction that Lucasfilm and Disney are taking Star Wars in. You know, it doesn't mean that we hate anyone. It doesn't mean that we want to see anyone be physically hurt. That is not the case. You know, and excuse me for singing and having fun sometimes. You don't know what I deal with every day. You know what all of us deal with every day? We all have our ways of blowing off steam. So what? Don't be put off by the fact that sometimes people like to have fun and people like to laugh. These are the people that will probably help you when you're in a bad situation, if you're in a car accident or you fall. These are the people that we're dealing with. All right? These are the people that I see in my comment section. Yes, you will have a few every now and then who say something that's out of line. Okay, you're dealing with human beings. But for the most part, you're dealing with amazing people, you know. And I just wanted to make a video to specifically talk about that, you know. So for everyone who comes in here who think they're going to come in here and tell me off and paint the Star Wars fandom with a broad brush and expect all of us to bow down on our knees and apologize for what the few bad apples do, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen here. It's just not. I'm not apologizing for what I didn't do. I don't expect anyone to apologize for what they didn't do. It's unfortunate what happens to good people sometimes. Kelly Marie Tran doesn't deserve to be harassed. She doesn't. Nobody does. You know how many people are out there right now, everyday people, children, who are considering suicide because they're being bullied to such a degree every single day? We need to look out for each other. Did it ever occur to you that sometimes my silliness, if I'm singing on a video or I'm laughing about something or trying to find the humor in it, sometimes before I turn on this camera, I have to take a deep breath and I have to say to myself, don't project the bad day that I've had. A lot of times I do this directly after work. You know, sometimes I have to say, don't project the bad day that I've had. You know, don't be down. There are people who are watching this who are in a bad way. You know, I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten that said, thank you for the laugh. You know, I might look like a jackass, you know, acting so silly on here sometimes, but that makes it worth it for me to know that somebody smiled, you know, that somebody laughed. There have been times in my life when I needed that, so I know how much it means when that happens, you know. So to be able to provide that for someone else, and sometimes some of these comments make me laugh out loud. They sure do, you know. So before you come in here with your judgments and you come in here all fired up from what someone with an agenda wrote in an unfair hit piece article, you need to remember, these are the everyday people. These are the people that you see walking up and down the street every day. Oh, Star Wars fans are people in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Yes, Star Wars fans are people in your neighborhood. They're the people that you meet when you're walking down the street. You see, I can't help it. It's my personality. If you ask my little sister, if you ask all my friends, I've been like this my whole entire life. I'm sorry to say, but it's true, you know? So, it's how I am, man. And the people who, like I said before, who share or who are sharing in this experience, to have these forums where we can all come together is actually a healthy thing. That's the reason why these platforms are blowing up. That's the reason why they're gaining in popularity, because people are being drawn to them, because these people from every walk of life, from every political background, we have this thing called Star Wars that we love. That's what's so crazy about it. You know what I mean? It's like I've seen videos from people who I know that I would disagree with politically, but it doesn't matter. And I gain more respect from them for them as human beings, you know, because we're drawn to this fantasy called Star Wars. You know, so don't act like this is something toxic. It's not toxic. It's healthy. You know, and I just wanted to put that out there for people, maybe to help you understand, you know, because this thing is just going to continue. It's going to get bigger because what you're dealing with corporate interest and you're dealing with the average person. You know, that's what it is. You know, and you want to be on the right side of that because people need to have their voices. People need to have their freedom of expression. That's what's at stake here at the end of the day. It's more than just Star Wars. It's more than Kelly Marie Tran's hurt feelings. You know, I'm sorry, like I said, for what she goes through and what everybody goes through online. You know, but we have to remember this is a right that we have as human beings to express ourselves, to like and to not like whatever it is that we see, you know, or have an opinion about. So it's not the end of the world that people don't like something or they're vocal about it. It's okay. It's okay. And it will be okay. Don't believe the hype. Okay? So that's all I wanted to express to you guys. I hope that it made sense. I got to go. My son's about to get home from school. And I'm going to pick him up. So anyway, you guys, let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section. And I'm going to leave some articles also, some links, so I can show you what I'm talking about. This tendency to, you got to be able to identify it, guys, because if they're blaming white men, you know, and toxic masculinity, it concerns all of us because discrimination is wrong for everybody, okay? For all the black people out there who, you know, like the guy who came on and called me all types of crazy names, like he called me a coon and the white man's tool, and, you know, listen, when you're being discriminated against, you want people to recognize it and to speak out against what's wrong. What kind of hypocrite are you if you can only do that for people who look like yourself? You think about that. Wrong is wrong. I've made videos talking about the wrong against black people and the wrong against white people. I will continue to do that wherever I see it. You want to judge me? You go on right ahead. I'm not going to stop being who I am. And who I am is the gospel according to Mark with a C. I'll catch you on the next one. Rock on.